I'll just check it on what's going on in the chat there for a minute. So I guess most of y'all saw what was going on in Almost Park. There was a local newspaper that did a report, and it was a fairly good report, except for they described the actions of Almost Park police as being lack of training. Kiss my butt. It's not a lack of training, it's out of control cops. Let their egos and badges go to their head. They know very well how to handle those situations. And they didn't care. And they've admitted they knew they were wrong. Several times. And they even told CJ, and we have the audio, we posted it, that if he came to town and did open carry, he wouldn't have any problems. But look what happened. That's not lack of training. That's an asshole with a badge. And I saw in his eyes, I was there when he attacked CJ and Jim. He was mad. He was wanting to hurt somebody. You see it in his eyes. He was furious that somebody would not kiss his butt. Let's see what's happening in the chat here. Why are the cops not in jail? Because of people like that lady that y'all may have seen yesterday. The local people and a lot of people think cops can do anything they want, and it's okay. It doesn't matter if it's against the law or against the Constitution, against their oath. And the local judges are in the pockets of the PDs. And it's our fault, basically, for letting the police get this far in the first place. Many people taught their kids to just do whatever the cops tell you. Fight them in court. Well, they don't have to pay anything when they go to court. We do. And we don't stand up to them, so we get what we get. Yeah, I saw Black Label was on, so I didn't go live because I was getting ready to. And I just got tired of waiting. You know, I don't really care how much crowd I get. I just felt like going live and visiting a little bit. There are shrimp in some tanks. Yeah, there's shrimp in some of those tanks. There's shrimp in a bunch of those tanks. Red ones and blue ones and yellow ones. And no, you can't eat them. And I rescaped this tank from the earlier one. Let's see, what else is going on in there? That lady was ridiculous. You know, there was that lady seems to be most where the comments are directed to. But there was a comment, and I liked it. It was like, you heard her, so I'm not going to go through it. But one of the comments was, by her way of thinking, if a lady is raped, it's her fault for putting herself in that position. Huh? Yeah, that lady's ridiculous. It doesn't matter what town you go to, whether it's her town, according to her, or our town, you know, as in their local town, and they get to do whatever the hell they want. It's bullshit. There's laws, there's Constitution. And like I said, it's not lack of training. It's assholes with badges. Yeah, I know, Pizza Pete. There was a lot of people who wanted to be there, couldn't make it. But and I wish everybody could have made it. But we had plenty of people, plenty of support, enough to make the cowards of almost PD run like little bitches. There might even be a better word for it than that, but that's the only one I can come up with right now. Hate to insult bitches. Hey, Solus. I see what you call them. What are you up to, Solus, out there? You busy? Just working hard? What? I'm on a Zoom call. I was thinking about inviting some people in, but it would only be people that I already have their contact information on my phone, so I can send them. I don't want to put out in the open and have all kinds of people show up. Tried that before, and it worked okay, but other times it's, people like Captain Feeblog, whatever his, come in and do stupid shit. Wednesday morning. Solus, you just described my Wednesday morning. Solus, this keeps blocking me from too many messages. I am home in California. I don't know what this keeps blocking me from too many messages means, but I can't say that. I'm sorry for the silence there. I was just reading some of the comments. But Saturday, and I think I've said this several times in other chats and everything, but what we did Saturday was amazing, and it shows what you can do when you work together with other people and other groups and put your differences aside and just work for the common goal. I think we showed that. And this has also been said many times since then. You can make a difference. We've got 4 cities from last report, and maybe a 5th that are changing the ordinance and getting rid of them. We tested San Antonio yesterday a couple times to see how they handled the situation, and so it looks like now that Police Chief of San Antonio, McManus, is true to his word that he has told his employees, our servants, that to behave themselves when it comes to open carry and handle things lawfully and legally. They did, and respectfully. We're not finished testing them yet, but they did. And that one guy from, what town was that? I can't remember the town now. Yeah, Helotes. That sergeant was cool. We had a long talk after I turned the live stream off, and after I turned the video off. And I wasn't live streaming from there. I just couldn't get it, so I turned the live stream off and then just did video. But I think Black Label might have got it live. We had a conversation afterwards too. That pretty cool. But I think almost, I mean, Helotus would have been a good opportunity to have the fake gun or the dildo in his holster, because they wanted ID, the license for him being there with not the rifle, not the open carry rifle, but the pistol. And he could have said something like, well, I don't have a gun on me. I don't really have to show you anything. And they were, well, we can see that holster there. Well, that doesn't mean there's a gun in it. I would like to see how that went. Maybe another time. Let's see. I voted for the cop. Amazing mustache. This new. Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of. I don't know how cool he was. I mean, we talked to him. He was very hesitant to say anything, but those two cops we first talked to, they were pretty cool, but they are working for a police department that's out of control. And as far as I know, they haven't done anything about it. But, on the other hand, we do have some inside people at that police department. And several of them, we know who they are, several of them we don't. So, who knows who is who over there feeding us information. I Texas sheepdog at LAX, yeah. Hey, can y'all keep each other busy for a minute and chat amongst each other? I gotta be right back. All right, I'm back. So who's in the chat? Monkey. Is Wicked Twin here? Yeah, Wicked Twin is here. Either one of you two want to join me on Zoom and go live with me? You can. Let me know and I'll send you the number. And you can join in on audio or just video. Just kind of checking out what's going on in the chat. Alright, let me find y'all's info in here. I got so many new people here in the... Let me see. Oh, there's Monkey. And... If I don't remember if both of y'all have been on Zoom with me before or have ever used Zoom, but you can. There's an app for your phone, or you can do it on the computer. But that number that I just put to you, Monkey, was the number to this Zoom call, not the actual phone number. Okay, let me see now. Let me find Wicked. There's Wicked. Yeah, I forgot to double check and make sure I sent Monkey the right number. My fingers are kind of bigger than this keypad here, and sometimes I hit the wrong number. There you go. Hopefully I sent the right one. They both get in. Let's see. R. Boyd. I don't know what the first little things are, but I see the sad face with a tear. Hey, Junkyard News is here. I'm going to do it. Zoom, 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 and boom, boom. Hey, Monkey. Monkey. Junkyard, I don't think I got your number. I'd sent you an invitation. If one of the other two have it, they can send it to you. Or we can do it some other time if you're interested. Whatever. Master Big Chef. Ding, ding. Hey, Monkey. 83.
Hey,
how's things going with you?
pretty good. Pretty good.
Wicked Twin says don't have it yet. Don't have what yet? I just sent it. If you're talking about the number, or if you're talking about Zoom. No, I think he's been on Zoom with me before.
Yeah, he's been on here with us, I thought.
So maybe he just hasn't received the number yet to the phone. Yeah, some guy wanted me to get in touch with him, and I sent him an email and he had a bunch of questions for me, but there's so many people out there, I didn't recognize who he was, and I still don't recognize who he is. I'm looking for it. Brian King.
Oh, Brian King, yeah, he's good stuff. He's done a couple videos actually for the 5-O's and stuff like that.
Okay.
He included James Springer in there. Freeman, I mean. So he's a good supporter.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing him here and there, but I didn't remember who he was because, like I said, there's so many new people out there doing this, that, and the others. Kind of hard to keep track of. I guess I better open this back up so I can see my chat. There we go. Well, anyway, he sent me an email with a bunch of questions, like interview questions. I'll look at it. I'll take it more seriously. Then I got somebody to vouch for him. Doesn't look like we're having too many problems in the chat with the drama. At least not yet.
No. I guess people are saying that I got an echo.
Sounds a little bit hollow to me, but I don't hear an echo.
No.
Let me try something here. It might be on my side. No, that's off. But I think if it was on my side, there would be an echo from me too. I turned my subwoofer off because sometimes it sounds weird.
No, it says I'm echoing.
Echo after 83 talks. I don't know. I don't hear the echo myself. Let me try something else here. It might be echoing through my mic. Y'all bear with me for a minute because I'm going to have to change settings and get rid of the main speakers.
Full blanket tip says it. There is natural. Hold on.
Let's see here. Wicked. Where is Wicked? Let me turn my main speakers off. Say something, okay?
Say again?
I'll just get you to say something so I could hear. See if there was an echo or not. There's Wicked.
There he is.
Now I have to go to a different control to get my volume up, I think. So I can hear you. Wicked, talk to me. He's still playing around. Alright, well, let's see what's going on in the chat while he gets ready. Can you hear us, Wicked?
Yeah, I can.
God, y'all's volume was really low.
Really? Yeah, is that better?
Hey, Mucky, say something.
Is that better? Better now? Good?
Your volume's really low, Wicked, and I'm trying to just figure out if it's on my side or your side. Mucky, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Yours is really low, so it's got to be on my side someplace. You try this. It's been so long since I used this mic. I was trying to figure out how to adjust the volume. I think that's better. Let's see what they say.
Better now? Better now? Check. 1, 2.
It's a little louder, but you're still kind of low. Okay, how about you?
My volume all the way up.
I guess it's on my side.
Weird.
Let me try this over here. It's very low for me. What is the deal? I wonder if it's on here. I haven't used these headphones in a long time. That might be part of it. So what y'all think about Saturday?
Oh my god, that was awesome. That was such a great show. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
My God, I can't hear
That
him.
lady really.
Can everybody else hear him? These two okay?
I can hear you. Look at Twin kind of breaking up. Really? Oh, yeah. Damn it. Maybe it's my piece of shit.
Yeah, but y'all are both low. When I turn it up, I can hear myself. I'm blowing myself out of my own voice, but that is strange.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Alright.
I'm gonna have to look at that. Like I said, I've been working with. Come to find out, I haven't been all the time using this new mic. I just thought it was on. It was feeding through the other camera mic.
Oh, do you think it's your microphone? or
Well, I can hear me, and when I put the headset in, I've never had any trouble hearing anybody else till I change these settings. And it looks like there may be something else I have to adjust or learn.
P&P, I don't know if you noticed, but
That's
Junkyard,
better. That's better. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Junkyard News said to email him the Zoom meeting and he'll join in.
Who was that?
That was Junkyard News.
Oh, Junkyard?
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I think I've got his email. Let me look here.
I think he posted it too.
Yeah, I literally just got the text when I joined in. I literally just got the text.
Do either one of y'all have his number?
No, but his
Okay.
email is thejunkyardnews@gmail.com.
Yeah, let me go over here. Well, y'all visit for a minute while I'm doing that. I'll see if I can get something done here.
Yeah. So you got anything big planned, Wicked planned?
And so I really want to hit up another military base.
Yeah.
So I want to hit. I don't know exactly where, but I think there's a couple in Colorado that I really want to hit up. But that's going to be a really kind of a journey. It's going to be like a whole day thing type of deal. So I don't know yet. There are some other police stations around here that I want to hit. So like the police stations out here, folks, there's like 3 people working now. So there's really no point. Like I'd have to go into the inner city to do that. You know, actually audit people.
Well, why not? Why not do some inner city cop watch?
Well, I mean, no, that's what I'm saying. I would have to do that because out here, bro, it's just pointless. It's throwing the fucking brick down the hallway. Ooh. You know, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we plan on getting back out there again. I'm super happy that our girl's 1,000 subscribers. It's been a long time coming in, and it feels like you've just you've hit a mile marker, you know, and you're kind of proud. So I'm really proud that I've kept with it this long, you know. Plus, you know, Silent told me that he didn't think I was going to be auditing anymore. You know, I showed up and started doing some audits. kind of showed him. I was like, see? Surprise.
No, man, that's good that you finally hit that. You deserve it. I mean, you deserved it a while ago. You put some work in. You know, like not everybody needs to hit a tyrant every time they go out there. You've proven numerous times that where you are, they don't really people photographs. You know what I mean? That's what we're about doing.
Exactly. So, and that's one of my main messages I wanted to get out, you know, and say, hey, you know, you don't always want to get contacted. I cannot say that enough about not needing to get contacted. And that's where most of my videos are. Like you're watching.
Hey, Josh from Indiana. I got it. I understand.
Until the most recent, my most recent audit, yeah, I've been getting contacted a lot. You know? So when I went to Buckley Air Force Base, yeah, I got contacted by police. You know, yeah, there are some ways I could have handled it a little better, but you know, I mean, it's all about it in that moment. You know, you're not thinking clearly. You know, that you're adrenaline. I was getting pissed. So I was done. I was like, you know what, I'm done. Because the guy was 50 hard. He was going to try to get me on the disorderly. So I was like, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm done.
You know that last video you asked me if you did better. You didn't do bad that other time. You did fine. The only comment I had was, you know, maybe you should have called it off a little bit sooner. But that's your decision. I was just saying, hey, you know, you didn't do bad. I just think personally I would have said, okay, that's enough. But you know, cut them off, let them know, hey, screw you.
Yeah. I realized that. You know, I pushed it just the right amount, man. Where if I had gone any further, oh man, I'd have been so screwed. You know, and they would have won right there. So you know, that's the whole point. It's like, you know, I don't want them to, you know, 'cause fuck them. It was a nice win, man. And my and the revisit one had to be my favorite one because that guy, he was just being an absolute fucking prick. I mean, he was. So I'm gonna call it like it is, you know. So he was being that way, and I was like, you know, it was fun when we asked that young puppy of a soldier, he was he asked him, he was like, hey, what did the guy say? He said, just leave him alone. I laughed my ass off. That was the hugest win for me because, yeah, bro, what are you gonna do? The cops have already come out here. I've been out here multiple other times, man, and I still have not been in handcuffs. What's up? You know, I do feel the need to, you know, within reason to be a little more aggressive with these Aurora police officers. You know, like Monkey told me in the chat, he's like, bring it to them. You know, yeah, I should have done it like James Freeman and asked them questions like, hey, you know, I smell marijuana on you. I smell alcohol in your breath. Are there any drugs in your car? You know, bring it to them. Seriously, yeah, that was great advice. You know, and I will definitely utilize that. You know, for my next encounters.
You got ID? In this day and age,
Yeah,
I need some ID from you. You got a badge, so you can't be trusted.
Yeah, I love when they ask right that, and he says, no, it's that big.
Well, I sent that. You know, I didn't check to see if that email went through. Hopefully, it went through. Junkyard email never came. Dang it! I may have put something in there wrong. Let's see. Sent email. I'll move this over here so I won't do that again. I did something a while ago I should have done. Let's see. Junkyard news. It says sent address not found, so I put it in wrong. Junkyard.
Oh shit.
Junkyard news. Well, did I spell it? Let's say JUNKYARD news at gmail.com. Did I get it wrong, Junkyard? Let me go back over here.
There's always that delay. Doesn't that suck?
The Junkyard news. Is that it? Okay,
Yeah.
let me try that again.
Yeah, I think it's all just one word.
Yeah, but I didn't put the in there. That's what it was.
The
Okay. Duh. You saying it in the chat. Ow, people. You're all saying it. And hopefully my video quality has been a little better on my phone. I got the S8 and I had the S6, so it's kind of a step up. And the camera's a little better. And there's a little
well,
more,
you know, make your video like the best is if you just put something covering your face.
hey, I got a present for you, bro.
I
Fuck
like that.
you. There you go, Monkey. Just for you, bud.
All right.
And I mean it.
Hopefully I got it right that time, Junkyard. And it's going to come in as something you won't recognize, like Tex Aquatics. I do that to screw people up.
Yeah, you gotta throw them off a little bit, you know? Keep them on their toes.
Hey, I don't know if it made it on there yesterday. I don't think anybody was live streaming, but when we finished with the we were doing the live stream with the San Antonio, and we're at the what the hell is the name of that damn place? As many times as I've been there, you'd think I could remember the name of that damn place. But Jack was doing the open carry, and we had the San Antonio cops show up. And after it was all over, we left and went down to the filling station. There's a guy come up, and he wasn't there when we first got there. And when we first got there, we put the gun up. I muted your Junkyard because we were getting some echo. I mean, not some echo, but like we could hear ourselves here. Anyway, so he got there after the shotgun was put up. Not the shotgun, but the rifle was put up. And he came up and he made the mistake of saying something about the shotgun. All right. We knew who he was. He was one of the guys from checking up on us, that Secret Service or whatever the hell, And he just said the wrong things, and we figured out who he was really quick. So, yeah.
Really helping my case.
You're unmuted.
Where you never be asked to leave.
And anyway, he asked for contact info, so I gave him a card with no contact info, and he just kind of looked at the front. I guess assumed the contact info was on the back and walked out. I'd mess with him.
Yeah. No, man, I feel like there was we got a lot of good responses, and maybe a couple of members of it out of that whole, out of that whole ordeal, which is amazing, I'm glad that people actually still want to get into this, I mean, I don't think this movement's ever going to really, die out.
Good answer. I'm kidding. I'm muted. I'm kidding.
You're unmuted now, Junkyard.
Oops.
Oops.
Way to go. Thanks a lot.
All right, now.
They unmuted me at the wrong time.
Hey, Wicked, if you can get your
Thanks a
speaker
lot.
close to you, you're the only one right now I can barely hear. So that might help.
Ah, really?
Yeah. So anyway, hello, Junkyard. What's going on?
Hey guys. What's up? Hey, anybody want a postcard?
A postcard?
I had some postcards made up.
It's back asswards,
Yes,
upside down.
Oops.
The bird is the word.
That's awesome.
Got a little message on the back.
Oh, I remember that day, man. That was awesome. I remember that.
I used the bird is the word yesterday a couple times, but I don't know if it ever made it on any of the live streams. We had fun yesterday with the new guys. I got another new guy that I haven't. He wasn't there, but we had enough new guys yesterday to deal with, so it was fine the way it was. I'm gonna get with the other new guy, and me and him will go do something together. He was when I went to the FedEx after the bombing at the FedEx. I did a video over there, and he was there, and he's the one I got screwed up with the other guy. I got mixed up who we were supposed to go eat with, get together and have some breakfast. But anyway, I sent him a message today. We're gonna get together this week and go audit or just visit and get to know each other and see what he wants to do. I have a feeling he doesn't really want to be an auditor. He just kind of wants to be backup, because in the morning he takes his kids to school. In the evening, he brings them home. He has to pick them up and bring them home. So I don't think he can take too much of a chance on getting arrested. But if he just wants to play backup, that's good too. It's always nice to have a backup that can get out of there with video if they need to.
Exactly.
And let everybody know what's going on. Because, face it, live streaming doesn't always work. I'm having a hell of a time with my live stream, even with the new app on there. And so the stream doesn't have so much info on it. It's still screwing up. And I think it's my service, not Verizon, but Sprint.
I've noticed that a little bit. It's like, all right, so you're your audio comes in just like a little grainy. It's like it never really cuts out, but you know you're always streaming. You know, so like your video is perfect and your audio is just like, you know, I can't really put a, you know.
Well, some of them y'all would have totally missed because it wouldn't stream at all. It just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anywhere else? You want to be famous?
Want to be famous? We got a puppy dog? Or
No,
a cat?
we got a kitty cat.
Oh, the cat.
There's a cat in the junkyard.
Is the cat? That's the cat that likes to eat your fingers or arms or something?
She doesn't want to be famous. What's up, else?
No, I just want to chew on you. I don't want to be famous.
No. She does have a tendency, though. Once in a while, I'll be on my computer or playing a game or something. She will literally come and help herself, and just lay right on my chest and look at me right in the eyes and say, "You're gonna pet me right now."
Yeah. I want attention now. I'll go away later.
Yep. She's a cutie. I'm not really a cat person, but this one's really jumped in my heart. So.
Yeah, I like cats because I like dogs too, so don't anybody take this wrong. But dogs always want attention. They want your attention 24/7.
Yep.
And I like cats because they can kind of take you or leave you. They'll come to you when they want visits, you know, and they'll let you visit them. But, you know, when you're done, you're done. You know, that's cool. For the most part.
So it's funny you mentioned that. You know, it's like my wife. She's like, "Why do you give the dog so much attention?" Like, well, face it, sweetheart. When I get through the door, that dog's shaking its ass, and I don't see you doing that.
This one, surprisingly, you'll hear my keys jingling as I'm walking towards the door, and she will meet me at the door. She'll
Wow,
be
that's
sleeping,
tough.
and my girlfriend will go, "What's going on?" And she'll be sleeping across the room, and she will come, and I will open the screen door, and she's meowing at me before I even get to the door. Of course, all she wants
Anybody
is
want to swig?
Oh, hey man, right here.
Next best thing to moonshine.
Oh,
Oh man, I would so love to have some homemade, you know, moonshine. That apple pie moonshine, bro.
Well, I had to
Oh,
give
man.
up the apple pie moonshine and all my moonshine because I made apple pie, I made corn, I made strawberry from strawberries, I made peach from peach, and several other ones. I made rum and rye.
Oh man.
But I had to get away with it from that for when I started doing this, because, you know, they like to come to your house and uninvited and do things that they shouldn't be here for. So I can't have that stuff around here. And I made it for friends, you know, mostly for like Christmas time, you know, holidays. And I didn't make a bunch of it, and I didn't sell a bunch of it or anything like that, but I had to stop doing it because, and get rid of everything, because even having this stuff they can get you for, which is strange because you can use basically the same stuff to make natural oils from plants and stuff. And yes, I know what kind of plant you're thinking about. You can do that too, but that's not what I was talking about.
Oh yeah. You just took all the fun out of that, man.
But you can do that with basically the same equipment with a couple of modifications. But I never did that, but I could have.
Yeah, I got a question. I'll change the subject.
Yeah.
But I'm going to change the subject because, you know, it's all about junkyard. PMP, I really loved seeing, you know, you at Almost Park and Hughes now Houston, and obviously everybody that went. But on like 2 or 3 separate feeds from different individuals, okay? I made a comment in your chat box. I saw on all 3 different people's streams a guy with a donut fishing pole. And he had 3 donuts on the fishing pole. Okay, I was begging somebody to say where he got that idea.
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't ask him.
Oh, you should have. I wanted to know if he got the idea from watching one of my videos, you know. But but he outdid me. He had 3 donuts on his.
No, well, had some problems live streaming, but the few days before that, and we were up the hill, and I think the live streaming was up there was worse. But where we were, the live stream I did first thing that morning, early that morning, seemed to work okay. But the adapter thing to hold the phone on, like this, the one I had covered the screen. It had like an elastic strap, all right, with Velcro on it, and it covered half the screen. So I really couldn't tell what was going on in the live stream. But so I don't know if you asked then or if you saw that part, because I was there really, really early visiting with the people as they showed up. But I didn't think to ask.
I had to work. I was on my breaks. I would tune in when I got home from work. I watched. I reran the lives. They weren't live when I watched them. I would have been at Almost Park myself, but there was no way in hell that I could get that weekend off.
Well, there was so many people live streaming, I decided not to, because my assignment was to keep cameras on up front on David Ahmad, who is the vice president of Open Carry. And we knew that there would be other people up there wanting to video him and what was going on, but they would be doing other things too. And we wanted cameras on him every minute in case something happened, so they couldn't, point the finger at him for doing something, then pull something and say he did it. So
I think I don't know if I will be able to quote it perfectly, but in his whole starting speech he gave, one of my favorite parts is when he said, what did he say? He said something like, let me give you the gist of it. He's something to the effect of, we're not here to cause problems. We're going to show them what true Americans, how they act. But then he made a comment somewhere along the line of, if somebody does something, we ain't going to back down from them.
Yeah, because we ain't going to take any shit.
Yeah, that's what he said. Dude, I have a lot of respect for that guy, and CJ, of course, but I have a lot of respect for him too. But when I heard him say that, I was like, hell yeah!
Well, it was a little difficult turning the reins over to OCT, but we all respect them, and we knew what they were about, and believe in them, so it made it a little easier, but it was a little hard to let the reins over and let them have control, after we broke the story and our people went through so much. But actually, the way it turned out, no problem. Completely happy with everything.
Do you know if anybody showed up from any? I'll use the word organized, even though they're probably not official state militia. But do you know if any of the walkers were from any militia organizations?
Yes, I didn't get any names, but there was at least 2 that I saw.
When they first broadcasted the day, I had sent out some emails to some organizations saying, "Look at this video. You may want to, participate in this event." And so, I don't know if that helped or not, or if anybody showed up from those emails. But I did. I said, I was furious. I mean, I was ready to strap on my Ruger and drive out there and just say, hey,
ready to take names and kick ass.
Yeah. I'm gonna call in sick every day, so either schedule me and don't expect me here, or just don't schedule me. But
don't expect to have a job when you come back.
And that's what my boss pretty much told me, is don't expect to have a job. So.
Oh man, I hate that. That's a cop out, man. I hate that. When you throw that at you, it's like, come on, man.
Well, my boss over here doesn't mind when I do that.
How about just the weekend? He's like, no, I need you. There's nobody to cover. You have to work.
My boss went with me. Y'all saw her on some of it, I think.
Oh, you want
my wife.
Oh.
She's over there saying, I'm not your boss.
Oh, man. That would have been so cool. Hey, what's up, boss?
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can really, nothing you can say about it, really. You're both there. What's up?
I also love, not to keep on the topic, but I really did love that dummy that somebody made. was dressed up in the officer's uniform. Oh, that with the handcuffs on, dude. I love that. That was
No, when he
funny.
first got there, he got there kind of early. When he first got there, he had the dummy in the back of the car,
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
I didn't get a good shot of it, but a lot of other people did. So I said, "Yeah, everybody's going to see it. I don't need it. I don't need it." But it was cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Let's see. I don't know what. I haven't paid any attention to the chat lately. Let's see what's going on over there.
Yeah, I don't even have that up. I have that soon right now. I'm still on it, but I can't see it. So.
I think they're amusing themselves over there mostly.
Hi, everybody.
Almost
That
police.
can get pretty
Yeah, they're amusing themselves for the most part. I'm really surprised we don't have any trolls or people coming in with all that other bullshit, but it's good. Let them stay away. And
No,
I just hope that some of those
Josh.
people understand what you can do when you work together and put the egos aside and what you can get accomplished. That's just a taste of what you can do. We can do much better things and bigger things.
Imagine that, man. You can move fucking mountains, man. But I've been getting a bunch of trolls on my channel, man. Like, I think it's just up until recently because a lot of people just don't like it when you go out and do.
If you're getting the trolls, that just means you're doing it right.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
well, hey, thanks for the view. Thanks for the thumbs down. I love it.
Well, for the first about a year, I messed with the trolls. They come on and make comments, and I just egg them on and egg them on. I just, keep them going, keep them going, keep them going. The more comments, the faster the channel would grow and all that, and more your videos would get seen. But I finally got to the point where something, my channel's big enough. I got plenty of people commenting. I want to pay attention to the people that are here for the right reasons, even if I don't like what they're saying. If they're doing an honest comment and making a, saying what they truly believe and being honest about it, then yeah, cool. But screw the trolls. Yeah.
Exactly. So, there's a comment that says, Josh says, don't ask what got you guys into auditing. Oh, man. It depends.
Anybody want to go first?
I think the first.
How about you, Steve?
I think the first
Or
channel
you?
I saw. I'm sorry, did I go out of turn?
Go ahead.
I think the first was J.C. Playford in San Diego because it's right down south. And then after I saw a couple of his videos, it went to Jeff Gray, and some of the old timers. And I can't forgive me, I can't think of his name, and I'm going to slap myself later for it, I promise. But the original I don't answer questions guy, what's his name?
Suitor.
Yeah, Suitor. Yeah, I saw some of his videos, and I just one day I just decided, you know what? I think one of the first videos I did, you think I would know my own channel, but once I started was actually a cop. I was crossing a crosswalk, and the deputy didn't stop for me. I was halfway in the crosswalk, and he zoomed right by and literally broke the law by not, stopping his car. It's like he didn't even see me, and I just happened to be recording because I had a feeling it was going to happen. And I think that was the very first police video I did, and I literally drove up to the local station and talked to the sergeant, showed him the video, and said, "You better straighten that deputy out because what he just did could be a liability, and plus he needs to set an example." And that's where it all started for me. Is the sergeant telling me, "You're absolutely right. I know who that deputy is. Him and I are going to have a serious talk." And then the next video I did, I was walking around with an empty holster, my dad's empty holster, in protest to California.
Hey, we're getting a bunch of comments about muting your TV, Junkyard.
I'm sorry, I can't. But maybe there's something I can do, but I can't.
You got somebody else watching TV in the room?
Yeah, I'm sharing the dwelling. But anyways, I started walking around with an empty holster, because there's a lawsuit right now that's going through. California Right to Carry.org is suing to restore open carry in California, and to show my support and to protest California not having open carry. I walked around with an empty holster and made videos that way because I did get stopped. And those were the first videos I did, and then it just grew from there. So, all right, I'll shut up now. Let's talk.
All right. Well, I'm going to mute you for your TV.
I'll mute it. I'll mute it.
Okay. Then you unmute yourself when you want to talk. And my story started about 30 years ago. I got arrested for a bullshit DWI that was there was no way that I could have possibly been DWI. The cop didn't give a shit. He didn't even give me a field sobriety test. He just walked up to my truck. He was 10 feet away from the window, told me to get out. I was under arrest for DWI. Even if I had been drinking a bunch of beer or whatever, you know, he wouldn't have been able to smell it because the wind was blowing about 10 miles an hour from behind him into my truck, so he couldn't have smelled it. And we got to the police department, and I'm on video, and he's like going, stand there, but he's pointing one place, but he's saying another. So he's trying to confuse me and make me look like I'm drunk on the camera. So I said, well, do you want me to stand where you're pointing or where you're saying? So that helped me in the trial. And I told him I wouldn't take the breathalyzer test there because that was back in the day when they could adjust them. They had to calibrate them all the time, all right? And they could have calibrated to where if you never had a drink in your life, you looked like you were shit-faced. So I wouldn't do that. But I did tell them I would take a blood test, and they refused to let me do that. So they kept me there all night, and I went through all that. Long story short, I was found innocent by everybody in the jury, unanimous, you know. And they pulled a few tricks, and it was an asshole DA. And anyway, to make the story shorter, I won that. And for years after that, I wanted to go out and video the hell out of them. Like, I was thinking about buying me a van and putting some cameras in it because the way the laws were is kind of tricky, you know, and putting one of the shotgun mics on there so I could, you know, be ways and, you know, listen to them. And well, the laws were really tricky, and I was raising a family, so I just kept putting it off and putting it off. My kids are grown up and on their own, so I said, and then I got really sick. All right, while I was sick and recuperating, I started watching videos. For the first year, I couldn't even sit at this chair, and, you know. But anyway, so I started watching videos, and I said, it's time. You know? So I got in touch with News Now, and he said, you got some guys there in San Antonio, and you've probably seen them. I said, yeah, but I haven't been able to get in touch with them. He said, I'll put you in touch with them. And they ignored me. And of course, I understand why now, because I pretty much do the same thing, because I don't know who you are, and I got to be careful about what's going on here and who's messing with me. And, you know, I've pissed off a lot of people that got badges and so forth. So I did a few videos, a few audits by myself, nothing happened. And then, but boom, one day I got a new camera. I said, I'm driving by Randolph. I got the new camera here. I got everything. Now's the time to start. So I got out and I did Randolph. I did a shitty job of it, but they saw the video and they saw the reaction from the police department. So the Patusai and Todd called me up the next day and said, do you want to go with us? And I said, damn right. And that's where it started.
That sounds awesome, man.
And I got lucky enough to get in with some damn good people. News Now Houston, the Batusai, Jack, Todd, you know, backup camera girl, their son. You know, what better group could you get involved with?
It's true, and they've got a lot of supporters, and it's nice to be a part of that whole community. Something that everybody has, you know, something in common with, you know. I agree wholeheartedly, you know.
How'd you get started?
Oh man, it was over a stupid ass jaywalk. it was that's like the most pettiest thing that you can ever get in somebody walk. You know, and it was in a construction area too, so there was a bunch of construction going on, and I crossed the street, and this cop who was in a town base, and it was all hollowed, it was totally ghosted out. So there was no signifying marks. You know, it was in this was a Denver cop, and he said that he was an active sergeant, and he made contact with us. And he's like, "Come here, guys," and we were like, "No, no, me and 303 were like, no, we're okay." And he was like, "No, actually, no, come here." So and then that's when he stopped us. He didn't even code himself out of the car, so it wasn't a legitimate stop in the first place. On top of it all, it's still a bullshit jaywalking ticket. So, but he stopped us because he said that we jaywalked, and then it grew from there. Oh, you guys have weapons on. Oh, okay. Well, he's like, the original reason why I stopped you was the contact like that you guys had tonight. Really? You can see me all the way over there with a knife on you, concealed too? Bro, what are you doing in the police force, man? What are you doing here? If you have eyesight back there, why aren't you a pilot or something? Something that you're useful. Utilize your talent, bro. You have so much more potential. Come on, and you're a top man. So, but we were walking back from the dispensary. Yes, Monkey. Yes,
Supposed to smoke it, not choke it.
Right. So, but he stopped us, and then it was a sting operation because in that area where we got stopped, there's a lot of drug trafficking. So, so he pulled out right behind the Denny's, and there's a really crummy hotel fixed right there, right next to that thing. And he came out, and his drug bust didn't go the way he figured that it's ongoing. So he stopped us, and he's like, "Here, I've got to make my quota somehow." So we were just right there at the right moment. And eventually we went to court, and we were like, we fought it and we won. So plus it was the most pettiest thing ever. It's like, nope, let's go to trial over this. Let's go to trial over a jaywalking ticket. Let's do that. Let's see how that goes. Because I guarantee you, it won't go the way you guys think it. The DA was baffled. Oh my God, they were baffled because they're like, here, just sign this, agree to this. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. and like her jaw literally dropped. Like, here, let me help you pick that up, Yeah, she was so baffled because she thought that we were just going to bow down and do what she had. And we're like, nope, let's take this to the pot. I want to go to trial. Let's push this all the way through.
Well, that's the problem I had with the DA that handled my case I was talking about a while ago. He was so used to everybody kissing butt. When I stood up and said, no, he told my lawyer, he said, I'm going to take him and charge him with everything I can and push it as hard as I can because we don't deal with stubborn cowboys here. It's like, I'm standing up for my rights and I'm stubborn. Yeah,
right. It's
the bird is the word.
It's amazing how until you want to stick up for your rights, that all of a sudden you're.
Well, it's amazing how many. My family wanted me to plea bargain. Some of my family wanted me to plea. I said, how can I do that? I didn't do anything. Well, it'll be easier on you. Well, that's what they want. They just want to make some money off you and make you kiss butt. And to this day, I'm not sure if the judge was trying to help me or hurt me. but he said no to the plea bargain because I gave in. All right, and he said no, and and when he said that, I said good. Now that I don't have to answer to anybody in my family why I didn't do it, the judge said no. Said let's get this done, and my lawyer said, I'm glad you did that. I mean, he did that because now I get to make them look stupid. And he
There you
did.
go.
He made that cop look like a bumbling idiot. And I had an all-female jury, and I wasn't watching it, but my lawyer was, and he said, man, they were on your side within the first 5 minutes.
That's great. That is awesome. Man.
And he said,
That's
when they walk back out, I'm sitting here just, worried to death, and my lawyer leans over and said, don't worry about it. You got it. Boy, they walked out there smiling at you. You're cool. But I still didn't let it sink in until the judge, until they said not guilty. And I thanked them all on the way out. I got out of there as fast as I could. I thanked them all on the way out. And I said, you got a corrupt cop, man. Y'all need to keep an eye on him. And anyway, a few years later, that cop got that town in trouble, big time. There was a class action lawsuit against him in the town because of his actions, because he was doing that a lot. DWI bullshit. So, how about you, Monkey?
Oh man, when I get out of the service, I just started watching a whole bunch of videos. I don't know what it is. One of the Dixie Clayfords popped up one day, and I just started watching all of them. And I just throughout the years been watching a whole bunch of people. And one day I just decided to pick up a camera and see what would happen in my town, and we all saw the Conroy. So I felt like I was onto something, and educated myself more and more. And honestly, one of my favorite videos while Junkyard's here is the one where he went out to Camp Pendleton, and he had that turd nugget up in his face, like, "Oh, I'm a grunt. What are you saying about grunts?" Well, he said that you're a freaking idiot. Get the fuck over it because you're actually an idiot.
Everybody comments and
Hey,
asks
man,
me,
I love
how many times did he ask you for ID? They always comment on that. They keep counting how many times that young gate guard would ask for my identification. Do you have your identification?
Well, that was like my first one at Randolph. He just kept asking me for it and asked me for it, and I said, request denied, and everybody liked that line, request denied. And it just came out, because I wasn't paying attention to my camera, because early on, I kind of zoomed in on, and was talking about the changes in that base from when I first moved in that area, and what it looks like then and now. And I forgot to zoom back out when I got contact. All right, so I've done that a couple times. Get carried away with what's going on and not paying attention to the camera. And I think that's a rookie mistake a lot of people make, but they get caught up in what's going on and not paying attention to what their camera's doing and everything. That's why best to have several cameras and not just for that reason. But anyway, I mean, he just kept asking me over and over again. Yeah, good idea.
But if you go back in in his video, people have made a drinking game on how many times he asked me if I need an ambulance.
You know that that first Camp Pendleton video? That I haven't really researched it lately, but for a long time, and I do think still that is my highest watched video. And there was 1 month it was my highest grossing video. I think when I put that out within that month or the month after, the YouTube, the ads, it made $600 in 1 month. Because it was picked up by Photography Is Not a Crime, and then usmclife.com ran it on their website, and it made me sick reading those comments that the families of the Marines all around the country were saying about my right to do what I was doing, and how they should have beat the shit out of me and made me disappear, and they should have put me in a hole and never let anybody find me. All these comments are on that page. You just have to Google photographer test Camp Pendleton, and that link to USMC Life will come up. Read those comments if you haven't, and it'll make you sick. What these people that have sworn an oath to protect and defend were saying about me being there doing what I was doing.
Aren't you a former
Yeah.
Marine yourself also?
What was that?
Aren't you a former Marine yourself also?
Oh, no. Never
No?
been in service.
No.
Never.
Well, I don't remember which one of the videos it was, but I think it was one of the ones about almost, and I think it was Saturdays, but I'm not sure. But anyway, there was a comment that one of the guys put in there. He says, and I don't remember if it was uncle or father or whatever it was retired police, and he made a comment that his uncle or father, whatever it was a corrupt cop, in his opinion, and that he had said his retired cop had said, "Well, I would have just shot that open carry son of a bitch." And I said, well, if he would have done that,
It is.
his lifespan would have been very limited, because the people, because he was talking about CJ, all right, and CJ is very highly thought of by a lot of people, and even people that aren't part of OCT, and there's some outskirts infringed organizations that pay attention to what OCT is doing, and I don't think that cop would have lasted very long after that. He wouldn't have collected a pension, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, so I do believe that, if any cop has been caught, in convicted in the court of law, breaking the law that he's upheld to, to enforce, I believe that you should be fired. I do believe that your pension should be taken. If you have a high standard, and then you go against that, I do believe that you should have, I do believe that they should crack down hard on you. I knew this firefighter once out in Lamar, Colorado, and he was I think he was next up with the DP. And he was caught drunk driving, and the lawyer and the judge threw the freaking biggest book at him ever, and they made, because I'm gonna make an example out of you. Yeah, and he did, man. I mean, he totally made an example out of him. He lost, he lost his pension and everything, and it sucks. But you know what? I mean, if you're gonna do stuff like that, you have to be prepared to take, responsibility for your actions. All citizens, all civilians are, held to their actions, and they crack down hard on. That's why we do this. We audit police officers because, in a chance, we hope to catch that one freaking dickhead officer that actually is breaking the law and, abusing his badge, abusing his power. I want to take away your qualified immunity. You better.
And we are working towards that.
Yeah, exactly. I handed out to Todd. That guy's got three under his belt. Damn.
Well, I can't understand the mass and the blind support that so many people give a police officer. I guess maybe they don't understand how severe or devastating a bad cop can be to people's lives. But yet,
So what happens with them?
a police officer, a bad police officer, in his career I can't even put a number on this, but just imagine how many lives a bad police officer can ruin in a career. And yet, people act like cops are just gods, almost. And they can do no wrong. It's freaking ridiculous. And that's why this blind support, the people of this country have asked for it. Basically, because they don't pay attention to that. And it's like, oh, well, if that police officer said he did something wrong, well, he must have done something wrong. Well, that police officer is a lying piece of shit, and they're trying to lie.
Exactly. So even if they're on the stand, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, and they don't get shit. They don't get hardly any shit for lying on the stand.
Yeah, you're gonna lie on under oath on the stand? Yeah, fuck yeah, they are. Totally,
If we do it,
100%.
we go to jail. If they do it, the judge says, "Don't do that."
Right?
When I had jury duty and they were going through picking the jury, that's one of the they ask you all types of questions, and one of the questions was somewhere along the line was, do you know of any reason you shouldn't be on the jury? And I said, well, other than the fact that that person, that officer right there, is legally allowed to lie outside this courtroom, and somehow I'm supposed to believe that just because he's in this courtroom, he's not going to lie. I'm
Right?
sorry. I'm looking at him. I'm already thinking he's a liar. So take that what you may. And they had me leave the room really quick.
Yeah. Well, they won't even call me anymore because of my answers to the last. I think it was the last 3 times, which was a long, long time ago. It was like, I don't trust the cops, I don't trust the judge, and I don't trust the DA. So, you know,
Oh, and I have flat feet. There you go. There you go. Oh, in that case, all right, perfect.
being awfully quiet up there, Monkey.
I'm listening, man. Just taking it all in.
Well, you learn more by listening than you do by talking, right?
That's generally what I've been doing a lot more. Is plus you got me as a moderator, so I got double duty to go on here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm very happy with the way my moderators have been handling things. They have been handling it the way I asked them to be very lenient on the moderation and to only be hard-nosed on it when it's violence, speech, and
That's a big,
racism.
that's a big deal. Yeah, that's a big.
Otherwise, they get a few warnings, and don't bring that bullshit to my house here. Leave it in California and wherever else it is.
Hey, now.
I had one.
Don't say nothing about California.
No, well, I didn't mean. I meant where I was directing that to. Because it's not just California. It's there's other people spread around the country. It just kind of it all centers around that certain area of California where it's coming from. But hopefully they'll get over that. I really do, because there's some people that are involved with that I really like, and I think if they'll get past that, they'll do a much better job of being productive associates, I guess, in this what we're doing, or members, or
they're trying to make it like a their way is the way that everyone should do it, as where everyone else is just like, why?
I'm still a firm believer in you do things your way. You can do things maybe the wrong way depending on somebody's opinion, but
Technically, isn't the wrong way getting arrested because you assaulted somebody, you committed a crime, you destroyed something? Then how is anything else the wrong way? You go out there, you film, you walk away, you go home, you expose something or you don't.
yeah.
I mean, I consider myself having my own way. I mean, I like to throw some comedy into my videos. I try to make people laugh in some of my videos.
I try, but I'm not that funny. So.
I try to find some comical points to it. I mean, I try to have a different little niche when I do videos, when I go out and do audits. I'll throw sound bites in. I'll throw, I mean, I don't know. I try to be different. And with all the drama that has gone on, the only thing I'm going to say is I'm really not familiar with a lot of what's going on because I try to keep myself deaf, blind, and stupid, whatever you want to say. I ignore it.
The three monkeys?
I ignore it.
I speak it, I see it, I don't hear it.
I don't even watch those videos. And I think a lot of people realize now why I don't team up with people and why, because I've been asked for years. A couple of years. I've been at people who have asked me, "Hey, can I do an audit with you? Hey, hook me up. We'll go do an audit." And I don't. And that's exactly why, because I am anti-drama.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find a balance in that because I do want to bring new people in, but I'm going to go out on my own more often. For a couple of reasons. Part of that is to prove something to myself. And part of that is to show people what I want, what my frame of mind is, how I want to do things, and not be influenced by some of the others. But I prefer going out with the guys I know and trust that have my back. And because basically, this can be a very dangerous thing. And you're trusting those others with your life. So when you go out with somebody new, they can get you, screwed up. They can do their own thing and pull you in with them. So
Guilty by association.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree because Silent Citizen brought this up to me. When me and First Amendment Strike Team went out, that was the first time that I'd ever met or anything about it. Like, it turned out the way it did, and it was great. We did that audit together, and I didn't leave him, he didn't leave me, and that was the greatest thing about that was, when you share, like what you were saying too, when you put your egos aside, you can get things done. You really can. And it's amazing what you can do and what you can bring to the table. So it is what it is,
Well, going out alone is not the best way to do it, but
Yeah,
it may be best for some people. It may be best for some people. Like, you're very comfortable with it, Junkyard. News Now is very comfortable with it. I can do it, but I prefer to be with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to do some on my own some more, because that's how I started out, on my own. I really like working with other people. For one thing, the job I had for 14 years, even though it was people all over the place, I was pretty much isolated from them, because what I was doing, they couldn't be around. All right, everybody had to evacuate the area and stay away. And so most of the day, I got to chat with people off and on, but for the most of the day I was alone. And then when I got sick, I was here most of the time alone, and my wife was at work. And it gets to the point where you get tired of being alone, unless you're just a loner, and I'm not a loner. I mean, I kind of border, I really like being alone sometimes, but not all the time. All right. And I like my privacy, but I like being with other people too, and visiting with them and sharing, ideas and comments and thoughts. But I will be out there alone some more. After Saturday, halfway through that thing, well, a quarter of the way through that thing, I was hurting. Halfway through that thing, I was about ready to give up. But I said, I promised people I'd be here. I promised myself I would do this, and I'm not stopping. I paid the price. I was hurting for several days after that, but I did it. So I know how, at least I can go as far as I did that day. So I can build on that, and instead of being on my feet for 2 hours, I can cut that back and then start building back up to where I won't be, in so much pain. And, hopefully in a few more months, a couple years ago, I couldn't walk 5 minutes, and now I can walk for an hour or more. Of course, it hurts, but so I can build on that. So I can go out, I can find me someplace to audit. I can be out there for about an hour, 45 minutes or so, and head on to the house. And I can, next time, I maybe go do an hour or hour and 15 minutes, and so on and so forth. And I'll use it for exercise, and I'll use it to do videos and learn more about myself, and because I think you learn something about yourself when you're out there doing it too. Every time something's different, you're learning about yourself and all other things, because they're all different.
I still know what you're talking about, though, because after that taxi hit me, I was out of commission for a while. But I really wanted to get out there, and I would go out, drive around, and I go, okay, I'm going to go take some pictures of this place. And it took a while. I mean, I would sit there and I'd walk and I'd stand somewhere. And after, 10, 15 minutes, I couldn't stand there anymore. I'd think, okay, I have to start walking around. Then even after a while, I couldn't even walk around. I'd have to go back to my truck and sit down for a while. And then even the truck was uncomfortable. So I just, okay, I'm not ready yet. And I just have to come home. I'll try in a couple more weeks.
and just keep building on it. I've been trying to get, first of all, that first video at Randolph that I had contact with. For a long time, I didn't post it. I mean, for a long time, I thought about it, a couple of days. And then I decided I'm going to post it for two different reasons. One is I want the guys here to see it. So maybe they'll, I get a chance to go out with them because they'll know that I'm serious about this. Two is I want people to know if I succeed in this and I keep going later on, they'll be able to look at this video and say, this is where he started. Look how screwed up he was and how bad a job he did, but look where he went. All right. And I've been trying to get, should I say his name or not? The Batusa. Okay, I'll do it. The Batusa. To tell his story, his first audit story. When he's live, I've been trying to, I posted in there, tell your first story, tell your first story. Because he told it to me that first day I met him. I can't get him to do it, but maybe one of these days he will. Because I think personally, it would be a good learning experience for the new people to find out, like I said, where you started and where you can end up if you just really want to do this, if this really means that to you. And if things don't go quite right the first couple times, just keep going and learning and keep going and learning, and you will get there.
Oh, this is a funny question. Josh says, what's your most embarrassing moment on an audit?
Mine was Randolph.
Mine would have to be me getting tongue-tied. Man, I think there is nothing worse than you looking out there, and you're still pissed. I mean, the words are there, but they're not coming out for you.
Well, I think what you mean by tongue-tied is different what I'm getting ready to say. And in fact, I know it is. But, there's people like Jack and a few others that have had experiences throughout their life that when they go out and do this, it doesn't really faze them. It's just, okay. Their adrenaline doesn't start pumping and they don't get all excited. But for many of us, I think, including me, I never really had anything in my life that was comparable to this. So when I went out, man, my adrenaline was pumping, my mouth went dry, and when your mouth gets to a certain point, you can't hardly talk right. All right, so tongue-tied is a different description here, but so when you go out, even if you don't take water with you, take some gum. If you're prone to that adrenaline rush, because that will help with that. And that was the best advice Jack ever gave me.
And I need to start doing that because I got a bunch of it, so I need to just start carrying gum on me, or like Jolly Ranchers or some like Rock Candy or something, just to, and I'll get cotton out too. Man, that sucks. I mean, especially up in a higher climate, man, it's got to be hurt. Super bad.
Well, I'm in the lower climates. I still get cotton mouth when my adrenaline starts pumping. So, but the adrenaline level's dropping when things go in. It used to be, my adrenaline start pumping just knowing I'm getting ready to go out there. And I pull up and I'm going, oh shit, here it goes. Here goes adrenaline at. And so I get my gum, and I'd put an extra piece in my pocket, or if I had a little package of it, I keep it with me. And now it only gets going when things start going wrong. When things start going bad, then it starts pumping. Because then I'm going like, I really want to tell this son of a bitch what I think about him, but I'm trying to keep this straight. Like many of us have talked about, Batusa and everybody and a bunch of us, when you go into an audit, you conduct yourself like you're in court. That's where court starts. You're collecting evidence to make a fool out of them in court from the very beginning. So unless it just doesn't matter to you and just want to be have some fun and raise hell with them. And I'll say fun, but I don't know if it's the right word. But
Kind of like I did in Costa Mesa when the motorcycle cop pissed me off and I flipped him the bird.
yeah,
I
yeah.
said, I'm right here. It's right here. Do it. Do it.
And I can see that. I don't have a problem with that. There's sometimes it's like, that's it. I'm done. Here you go. It may be a few words to go with it, but also
Sometimes there's just nothing left to say except the bird, you know?
yeah. And sometimes righteous indignation can be a good thing in court. It's like you have been pushed so far, and that court, those people in that in that jury, going to go. They pushed him and they pushed him and they pushed him, and he finally let loose on him. I can understand that. That son of a bitch deserved every freaking word he got. So righteous
Yeah.
indignation can work for your side, but you got to be mentally aware of it at the same time, when and when not to.
Yeah, that's like on that video as an example. That's why I kept repeating that I don't agree with what he's saying, and I'm showing my disdain for what you're saying. It's my
Yeah.
First Amendment right to do this. I'm not doing it just to be a dipwad. I'm doing it because what you're saying is bullshit, and I'm showing you, how I feel about what you're saying. I was trying. That way, if they did it, because there was the cops behind me were putting gloves on. I thought I was about to get tackled there, but he backed off.
Well, and here's something, and I know this has been said before, and I'm working on this myself. Basically, my approach is going to be from here on, and this is what I'm thinking now. I don't know if it's going to happen when I get out there. Is I'm going to keep my mouth to a minimum. All right, I'm not going to be silent citizen, and I'm not going to be bunny boots on the silent days, but I will be making maybe a few short statements when they start asking questions, and basically it's going to be telling them, I'm not going to talk to you, I'm not going to answer any of your questions. And depending on how much is there might be a couple of things said here and there, but basically it'll be questions back at them. All right. And if it gets to that point where I feel like it's time to shut up, I'm going to shut up. And that will be a pretty quick thing. I will be shutting up pretty quickly. And once I shut up,
You tried,
I'm going to shut up. I'm not going to say, I'm not answering any more questions and then talk my ass off. I'm going to shut up.
you did do that with Jack. You're like, I'm sorry, I got a big mouth. That was funny thing. Well, it's true. That's
Yeah.
it's really true.
Well, when you see people that you trust your life with, all right, Jack and Todd and his Buck G and all those close friends get screwed over by the same police department over and over and over again. CJ got tased. They broke Jim's arm, the guy that was there with CJ. They broke his wrist when that asshole pushed him down and gave him a fracture in the skull right here. All right.
And there was no use for that.
And CJ also has a concussion from that straight fall down on his head. All right.
Talk about excessive force.
Can you not? How many people can keep their mouth shut when faced with the same assholes? I'm going. I'm pissed. I would like to beat the shit out of you, but I'm just going to talk shit at you instead. And there was some comments about yesterday's video about Jack raising hell and cussing. It's like, you go through what Jack did. You see your friends treated that way in person, and you tell me you can keep your mouth shut. You judge him after you've been through all that. Don't judge him now because you don't like a cuss word or two, or 3 or 4 or 5. You get that. You have them do that to you and see how you feel. Have them point ARs at your face because you have a sign they don't like. That's ridiculous.
That's what you think, Joe.
All right, guys, I got to wrap it up. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here. I think we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon too.
Yeah, it was awesome being on.
I don't want to do another 4-hour talk like we did that one time.
Everybody remember the birds of the word.
Bird is the word. Snakes here. Wicked ran away. Is he getting his taser? Wicked, you getting your taser?
Hey, he's not the only one with one of those little flashlights.
I got my flashlight, but I don't have a taser.
I've still got the thing. Everybody's got it. Oh, look, you got that?
Yeah, we thought maybe you were going to get your taser, but damn it, you didn't.
Oh, no, man, my taser's right here. I just within arm's reach. No, my little boy was upset. He was getting pretty pissed, so I had to run to him real quick.
My wife does not like that flashing one.
Yeah, and it's oh, that's okay. What do you got there, man? That thing looks like a damn. Oh man, no. You keep that the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Girl.
Wicked has a fetish for those things.
Oh fuck no. Oh god, those are dangerous, man.
David
No.
News Now has he got a new flashlight, and we compared beams on his. His was a really cheap one, but the beam on his was about half the price. Not really cheap, but half the price of this one. And when you point them both to the ground, this one's got a pretty wide spread to it, but his is, I mean, it's almost all directed in one little, like 6 foot up. It's probably a 2-inch circle on the bottom, and that's almost all of it. It's like, that's a bright son of a gun. Well, if he ever does another night one, he points at it in their face, they're gonna not like it too much.
What brand does he have? Do you know? Does he have the Bush now? Or?
I don't know. He said, but I don't remember that night. Let's see. Ben Dover asked, "What fish do I have?" I've got angelfish and guppies and some fire tetras and some
always
neon
wanted to know
tetras.
What's behind you, man? I've always wanted to know. So it's like I always see it, but I can never like.
Yeah, I don't think this will reach up there very far, but let's see what we can do. The angelfish are in there, but you can't hardly see them because they're pointing towards us and they're so skinny. I'll get a better picture of it one of these days. I'm getting ready to do some more videos for my other channel, about
Yeah, man,
the fish and stuff.
I wanted to say something about the other channel.
Well, I have 2 other channels. Which one are you talking about? The channel with the fish or the backup
No,
channel for this?
Yeah, the backup team, the TNT News
In depth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really nice, man. When you went live earlier, there really wasn't a whole lot of people on there.
Well, that's kind of why I go, when I do it here on the main channel, I do it at, really odd hours. I'm not really interested in having 1,000 people on here, or 400 or 500, where the chat goes by so fast. When I do pay attention to the chat, it goes by so fast, I can't, tell what's going. And if I didn't have you guys on the night, I would have been paying a lot more attention to the chat, but I really kind of wanted to sit and visit with people and have a conversation back and forth. That's kind of hard to do in a chat, so.
Yeah, that's true. No,
Yeah.
it's fun. I absolutely love these chats. Every time I get a chance, I'm addicted to it. So,
Well, there's more information. I could sit here and talk for a while, and I can share what information I've got, but I can't talk for hours and hours on what I've got. And what good does it do just somebody listen to me? Let's share stories and whatever. And sometimes it'll be just bullshit stories we're talking about, and sometimes there'll be some good information in there. I think just bringing the community together and visiting is a good thing, whether it's important information or just visiting. Who cares?
Yeah, it was also, I went live today and I kind of just told everybody, thank you for getting to this mile marker, because I'm really grateful that people, I had that many subscribers, so it's like, wow, that many people want to watch my videos, see what I talk about, stuff like that. It really is. And so, I, you know, I had to make a video saying, hey, thank you to everybody who does that, there's a lot of, and I want to support some of these smaller channels, right? It's because a lot of these smaller channels have helped me, helped me personally
Yeah.
get to where I am today, so it's, it's just the gratitude that you show to people and makes them, at least help them understand that, it really is all about this, because you're basically, think about it, if there were no people, who started the channel, and there were no
Yeah.
people, what freaking good would your channel be, and that's what I'm trying to get out there, is letting people, know that, it's not just me that's doing it, it's all of you that are helping and bringing your perspective into it. Go on my live streams, I try to see the comments, and I try to answer some people, because they're the ones that are there. They care. If they didn't care, they wouldn't be watching. Or the other way around, if they just want to be a troll, they're definitely not watching it. Definitely want to.
Well, somebody's got to have some place for the trolls to troll.
Somebody like that. Who the fuck is
Isn't that what piss off taxpayers for?
Huh?
Isn't that what piss off taxpayers for?
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah, haters make you famous, man. That's just definitely, he goes off his goals,
Well, when I first started, there was so few of us that it was hard to grow a channel. I mean, we support each other the best we could to help each other out, but hardly anybody knew about it compared to now, So it was really hard to grow a channel. And then when I saw more and more people come in, I'm going, well, my channel's big enough now that if I put the word out, it should help them. And so that's what I started doing. Plus, I still was dealing with health issues, so I said, well, I can't get out there as much as I want to be, so where can I be of service? And that seems to be well appreciated by many, so I appreciate that. I did something that helped. That's good for me and good for them. It makes me feel good that I helped, and it helps the community at the same time. So
exactly, and that's really what I was about. I really wanted to get in to help people, and really understand, their points of views and their perspectives on, hey, this is what you should do, and I figure out, I do what I want to do. That's because, that's the crisis, freedom, that's why, I've never served in the military, but I feel like I'm giving back in this way, shape, and form, even though most military, don't agree with what we're doing. Like, seriously, my last 2 videos, a lot of people don't like it. They don't.
yeah, but look how many ex-military we have in the movement themselves. The military do like it. It's just the ones that don't like it got to get in there and talk their shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Chuck Aaron was saying earlier on that Pendleton video, he got all that heat on that website for it.
Yeah.
Those were all the people that were still in there. I guarantee you when they get out, it's a completely different mentality. And definitely all the young, dumb kids that are, oh, I'm in the Marines, I'm a badass motherfucker. I know the fucking thinking. I was that,
Well, not only that, when something makes you mad, you're more likely to speak up about it than you are to if you like it or happy about it. You're more likely to say something when you're pissed off than you are when you're not.
Exactly. That's what made me get into auditing too. It's like, I watched a lot of auditors in California. And people started growing. And then I ran into this guy's face right here, you know, and me and him got in contact. And, we contacted each other and we started talking. You know, I get along with a lot of military, and former military, because I don't know, I just do.
Well,
So,
I would venture to say that a majority of the people that are doing this are doing it because they got screwed over and it pissed them off.
yeah,
Now,
exactly.
some of them aren't. Like Monkey, you didn't get screwed over and it pissed you off to the point where you couldn't stand it and you had to do something. You honestly
They
believe
pissed me
in,
because I watched what they were doing to people was wrong.
yeah, you honestly didn't like what you saw, not because it personally happened to you, but you're going, I went in the military and and I fought for these freedoms and look what they're doing to these people,
That's
And-
exactly what it is.
yeah, and that's cool,
Yeah,
and that might even be a better, well, not better, but at least as equal a reason to do it, and maybe a more honorable reason to do it, not because you got screwed over, but you see other people getting screwed over.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know if that's the right explanation, but I mean, that's the way I'm going to put it for now. But before I forget, Wicked, you got started because of a jaywalking. All right.
yeah.
Now, for those of you, kind of, that's part of it. Remember, you have seen some of our videos out there where people get jaywalking tickets when there is no jaywalking violation in that neighborhood. So just because you get a jaywalking ticket doesn't mean you're guilty of anything. Even if you did what the cop said, that doesn't mean it's illegal. If somebody gives you a jaywalking ticket, for anybody that's listening to that, go find out if there's actually a jaywalking ordinance where you were at, because they've done that to Jack and other people. When Jack got that jaywalking ticket, there is no jaywalking in that area. It's only the major part of San Antonio downtown, not outside of it. There's like a circle around downtown. That's where the jaywalking ordinance is. Outside of it, there's not. There was no jaywalking ordinance where he was, but yet they arrested him for it because he wouldn't ID, even though there was no jaywalking ordinance.
But you can totally find that in court.
Oh, they dropped it.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Robert Allen just said, "My son is an active military and has huge respect for auditors. Laughs his ass off at MPs being stupid."
Cool, and a lot of them do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I mean,
And tell me, we did this. Let's see, who was it? I think it was Batusai. After there was a couple of audits at Randolph, he found a video of a Randolph employee cruising around town, taking video, walking up in the Taj Mahal. That's that big thing in the middle with the.
I remember that video.
All right, and he's walking around in there with the video camera going on, taking video all over the place, and it's like, you're coming out here after that, and you're telling me from private property I can't take video. Are you really that stupid?
Man, that's funny. I like the video of the two guys, and he caught these officers lying, like seriously lying, and it was the funniest thing ever because he's like, I don't know what's going on. He's like, I don't know what crime has been committed, because there was a couple pulled over in a vehicle and had possession of narcotics, drugs, and he's like, oh, well, see, I didn't know that. And he was like, the cop literally just told him that. And the police was like, oh, well, I didn't know that. So these cops are trying so hard. He's like, well, I need your name. Why? Why do you need my name? Oh, well, because I need to see, they were trying to take this camera.
My boss told me I had to get everybody's name. Well, I don't care. I don't care what you want. I don't care what you need. The bird is a word.
He requested that supervisor, and then the supervisor, was trying to get. It was funny because he was trying to buy in on the officer's story, and then all of a sudden, the police was putting out facts out there. He was like, "Well, here, I didn't know which crime was being committed," and then the officers were saying, "Well, we told you what crime." Exactly, asshole. You did. Told me what was going on, and I didn't know what was going on. You're lying. You're still lying. It's like, you're talking right there. I just watched that video for the first time. It's been out for a while. I laughed my ass off. I was like, dude, these guys have nothing else better to do except lie to somebody that's, you know, that's getting it all on video, and then he's gonna publish it somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's gonna make you look stupid even more. God, you guys are fucking.
Well, I love it. Like
Oh,
like
I love it too.
David, does the, well, did I do something wrong? Did I break a law? All right, and that suckers him in. All right, that gets him to saying, well, no, all right, and you didn't break any law. I didn't say that. Well, am I being detained? In the conversation, he gets, well, am I detained? Yeah. Well, you just admitted you have no reason to detain me. I like that kind of thing where it's like, of course, he doesn't usually say that, but that's what I'm seeing.
Right.
When I see that, it's like, this idiot just said that he had no reason to detain me, but he's detaining me. And I like it when people add in, after they've been detained, well, am I lawfully being detained? Yeah. Or, well, you're unlawfully detaining me. No, I'm not. Well, you just admitted I didn't commit a crime and you don't suspect me of a crime, but yet I'm being detained, so... Huh? Where did you come up with that shit?
When you get a bunch of officers together, it's like one officer says, you know, it's like they don't talk to each other at all. It's like, you know, you get that one officer over there that's offering another group saying, you know, told you that you're being detained. And then you got the other Jack Cole, the other Smo officer right here saying, oh, no, you're not detained. So it's like, well, what about that officer over there? He's just like, what's up, guys? Like, if there's no communication, you know, get you fired.
Yeah.
Lie to it, and then come back over here and then some. Like, go laugh at his ass up with butter, and then come back over here and we can fucking do this all in this.
Well, we've even seen videos where the same officer says you're detained, but at the end of it he says, well, you were never detained. You weren't in handcuffs. You don't have to be in handcuffs to be detained. But you told me I was detained, so I can't leave.
Yeah, so...
Are you an idiot?
You know,
Yes.
if I tried to, yeah. It's like, well, you know, if I try to leave, are you going to shoot me in the back? Oh, there I go. You know, go for it.
I may push that some more too. I don't know. When they say I'm it'll have to be a specific situation. It'll just have to be worked out perfect. But it's like, I'll go, okay, bye. We'll see what they do. Like, it'll probably be more like when they refuse to answer you. And that you keep asking them because you've seen it all the time. Am I being detained? What? I need to question you. I'm asking you questions. Am I being detained? Am I being detained? Well, since you won't answer me, I must not be detained, and turn around and walk off and see what they do.
Right? Like Blind Justice's this video where you guys screwed with ours. I didn't see the original video when it came out. I just watched it today. So, I saw that, and it was like, all I saw was a glimpse of Blind Justice on the ground, and that cop, they were just being superseded assholes, oh, I've got a dad, oh, I've got a tax debt, oh, I've got yeah, you're a superficial dickhead, bro, yeah, everybody knows yes, that's something to prove, it's amazing,
Yeah.
try that shit with your wife. Yeah, I bet you, yeah, bet you anything you're not going to
Yes.
get any authority at. So that's why you take, that's why you took the job, that you have authority, because you don't get it at home. You got to get it somewhere. I mean, bro, this helps. Do that or something.
Well, we're also looking into some new equipment, which is part of what I'm saving up some money for. So, and I think I mentioned the other day, I won't be helping as many people as I have been, because I need to put money together for NAIR and get the legal stuff done. But I also need some new equipment. So what we're looking at is, instead of having all these cameras all over so they can see, they won't be able to see them as easily. All right, because you'll get a truer reaction. We're starting to wonder how many police officers are behaving themselves more because they're the cameras, and how many aren't. Because we've seen a bunch of them They don't care about the camera. They know that nobody is going to hold them accountable because their sergeants, lieutenants, chiefs, DAs are just as corrupt as they are. So they know nothing's going to happen. So they do whatever the hell they want to, even on camera, because then nothing's going to happen. But we're wondering how many of them would we catch if they didn't think there was a camera on them, and how would they react? So we're talking about going that way, but we haven't really decided. So if anybody else wants to take that idea, please go for it. But
It's also dangerous.
but the equipment's expensive to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
Dangerous to do that too, because if they don't see it, it's like boom, that green light is on.
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, you've seen what this group is willing to put up with and get and go through.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. I mean,
So if
I
any of you
like,
police officers are listening to this, don't you ever dare think that we won't do something that will put us in danger, because we will.
we're gonna catch you, and then we're gonna make you look like idiots.
And I've said it before. If it kills me, I'm going to do this, and it might, but I'm going to do this.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of auditors get put flat on their face, man. I mean, it's sad when they do this because, like you were saying earlier, they're so pissed off. Like, what can you do about it? I would love to see one of these officers, in the dark alleyways, see whoever it is put out, and just walk away. Scot free, nothing. But I mean, obviously you can't do that, because then you would be no better than them. But man, I'd feel good doing it. Oh man.
Well, it does. Some people say this is fun, and there is a element of that. All right, but it's more, to me. It's fun's probably not the best word. It's empowering.
Mm-hmm.
To stand up to tyrants and watch them back down. And when they don't back down, then you have a court case against them. And now that we're growing and our funds are growing and should grow with some of these lawsuits that are coming up, should put us in a position where we can reinvest a bunch of that for more lawsuits. And with those lawsuits, we take more money and reinvest for those lawsuits. So it should, one of these days, empower us to really take them on hard. I mean, so freaking hard. And not just us, but other groups. There's other groups that will be doing the same thing. It will take them on so hard that they will be scared someday to fuck up. Because we'll go after them we'll strip their immunity from them. They'll lose. Their city will lose. Their department will lose. They will be scared to fuck up, and it can happen if we keep going. And
I would love that, man. I would love that so much. That with the fact that just the fact that a camera can be, a career maker or breaker. Really, it can. I would love nothing more than that. Like I was saying earlier. I want to take away your fucking qualified immunity. Throw it out the window. I want you to say to me, please don't take my badge. No, I'm gonna fucking take it. I'm totally gonna take it. If I ever have the opportunity to take it, and it's been proven that you're a corrupt piece of shit, I'm not sorry. I'm gonna take it. You don't deserve it. You just use those, because you were totally giving me up in some bullshit car. You're going to get your community in trouble. You're going to get, you're going to not only do you make your...
you're going to have to go home to your wife and explain to her why you don't have a job anymore.
Exactly. All about that authority, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No authority when you get home anymore, bro. Yeah, exactly.
Well, ultimately, I think that will lead to this, all right? If we can get them to where they're worried about screwing up, and we can get enough exposure out there where we can get enough people to understand what's going on and support us, public opinion on our side, that we get to the point where my goal is to, from that point on, to every police officer has to have 2-year schooling, at least, preferably 4, but
Yeah.
at least 2. Right now, you can be a hairdresser. I mean, you can be a police officer in shorter time than you can be a hairdresser. And all she's doing is cutting your hair. She's not putting you in jail and screwing your life up. If
Here's
she
a
screws
question
up
for
and
you.
her hair, your hair looks bad for a little while. Yeah, go ahead, Monkey.
How come they offer a criminal justice degree in colleges, but law enforcement officers don't have to get a criminal justice degree?
I can't answer that, but I don't, you know.
Huh?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
That's
Yeah,
a
you got me by the
Yeah.
got me by the short and curlies there, bud. So
Yeah, it don't make a whole lot of sense. So anyway, and not only that, get it to the point where if a police officer breaks the law, he gets more punishment than a regular citizen would be. Right? And make it where they can't lie to you about what the law is. If they don't know what the law is, they have to look it up. If they look it up and still not sure, they have to let you go, because they're not going to be wanting to push it because of what will happen to them. But they have to be honest. You cannot be a liar and be a policeman at the same time, as far as I'm concerned. And they needed as much training on how not to kill as they do to kill. Because right now they spend a whole lot more time training on how to shoot that gun and kill somebody than they do on how not to use it, and do it, you know, without hurting people.
yeah, I feel like they should understand the basic laws that they're gonna run into, 90% of the time, like your basic, domestic, disturbances, I would really feel like that would help a lot, We need to train these guys, and I believe that you should go under a mental evaluation maybe every other week or so. I understand that would have a lot of money, but that would cost a lot of money to do that. I want an officer that's going to be, mentally stable rather than an officer that's shaking his gun, not really knowing if he's going to. Yeah, I don't want an officer like that. It's like, bro, where are you going with this? Stop.
Well, we'll see what it takes. I don't know how far we'll get, but hopefully in my lifetime we'll see some of these major changes.
Now, I got a really important question for Josh. Not Josh, Wicked Twin. When are you going to get a parrot, and when are you going to get the 2 hoop earrings?
So, when you get it from me, how about that? Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So we get one that's a fake one that sticks on the shoulders but got recordings in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little camera or something. Maybe he'll have like one of his one of his feet flipping you off, That'd be cool.
And just go, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like that one.
Right, for an actual parrot that fucking actually hates you for, seriously, one that has there's a YouTube video out there floating around where it has this parrot that's absolutely ridiculous.
I've got it.
He's like, you can hear.
I took a clip from that, and
love that.
I've used it in a couple of my videos.
Oh, I love it, man. I would love for a cop to, just get so pissed off because this foul mouth bird is just ripping into his ass. So I would love that so much. I would pay to see that actually.
Oh, let's see here. This is where I'm looking for it real quick. See if I can find it real quick.
There you go.
I don't remember where I put it, but I got it around here somewhere. Where did I store that one at? Dang it! I just saw it earlier. I know I have it.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of people. Like,
All right.
let me give a shout out to Falling Bomb. That guy uh, helped a lot of people. A lot of people contact me. Give him some credit where it's deserved. I talked to him a lot. The guy has done a lot of stuff. Like, and Oklahoma Cameron, man, that guy, me and him talked a lot too. You know, he's giving me a lot of tips on my son, and you know, a lot of Native American tips that they use in their tips and stuff like that. So he's helped me out a lot. And he's a good friend. He really is.
Well, I'm gonna stop looking for it. I got it someplace, but I couldn't find it. Maybe I'll save it for next live show. All right.
Go.
Well, I think I'm gonna call it evening. I think we've been on here enough. We've gone from 49 to 39. I think people are dropping off out of here like flies. And I'm tired of talking anyway.
Yeah.
So I thank both of you for joining me tonight. And
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
yeah, we'll do it again soon.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk to y'all later. And everybody else, thanks for stopping by.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.